Good evening. I'd like to call the City of Homestead Committee of the Whole meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. It is 5:37 p.m. Let's have we'll read the COVID statement into the record. This is a hybrid meeting which allows for the public to participate by calling in, Cisco WebEx, or physically appearing. Please note that due to COVID-19, there will be limited occupancy available in the council chambers. Face coverings must be worn by attendees at all times. In addition, the public will be subject to temperature checks and COVID screenings will be required. The meeting can also be viewed live on the City Access channel or city website at cityofhomestead.com. The city will be accepting public comments as part of the meeting, which can be emailed to publiccomments@cityofhomestead.com. Public comments are limited to 300 words per comment. Public comments on specific agenda items can be submitted by noon on Monday, January 11th, and all comments will be included in the minutes. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Shelley. Councilwoman Avila. Councilman Fletcher.
Here.
Councilman Roth. Councilwoman Bailey. Vice Mayor Faircloth Staggers.
Is it?
Mayor Losner.
Here. Are there any additions, deletions, or deferrals?
No, Mayor.
Thank you. First order of business is tab 1, the approval of the December 8th, 2020 Committee of the Whole minutes. Do we have a motion for approval of the December 8th, 2020 Committee of the Whole minutes? Moved by Councilman Roth, seconded by Councilwoman Avila. Any further questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Next item, tab 2, is a motion to place car number 3088 on the council agenda, RFP number 2021-07, Call Center Solutions. Is you, Madam Manager?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it is. Thank you. This item is for the award of RFP 2021-07, Call Center Solutions, which was issued on October 16th, 2020. This item first came before this council back on December 16th, 2020, when staff sought and received authority to negotiate a contract. At that time, the council had several suggestions for better service to be included in our negotiations. As you may recall, this RFP has two parts, Alternative A and Alternative B. Alternative A is for after-hours power outages, after-hours utility calls, and power emergency calls 24/7. Alternative B is for customer service calls Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. In response to the RFP, the city received 4 proposals. Anco Utility Services, LLC, was the top-ranked proposer for both alternatives. Staff has since been negotiating with Anco and is now recommending that both Alternative A and Alternative B be awarded to Anco. And by way of background, the city has been using Anco to handle power outage calls and after-hour calls since June of 2013. These are the calls that would fall under Alternative A. In 2019, Anco's services were expanded to include all customer service calls, including normal business hours, which are the calls that would fall under Alternative B. The price per call has remained the same since 2013. In September of 2020, Anco advised the city that they were unable to provide the services at the same rates and that they were exercising their right to terminate their agreement with the city, which is what triggered the RFP release in October. With regard to the current recommendation to award both alternatives to Anco, we have not experienced significant problems with Anco's handling of the Alternative A calls, which are the after-hour calls, and under the proposed agreement, the increased cost per call is 6%. As such, we are recommending approval of award to Anco. As you know, we have experienced problems with Anco's handling of Alternative B calls, which are the 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. calls. Under the proposed agreement, the cost per call has gone up from $2.57 to $5.60. However, included in our negotiations have been upgrades and recommendations made by this council back in December to ensure more efficient service. For example, a call queue option for customers to get a call back without losing their place online, the ability to leave a voicemail for a callback, the ability to go online, implementation of daily tracking metrics showing how quickly calls are answered and how many calls were abandoned, for example, due to a long wait, development of customer satisfaction surveys, standards for service that include penalties and incentives. For example, the standard is 80% of calls are to be answered within 3 minutes. There would be monthly incremental dollar penalties if that standard is not met, and actually a corresponding monthly incremental dollar incentive if the standard is exceeded. With regard to the abandoned calls, the standard is 10% or fewer with the same monthly incremental penalty and/or incentive. At this time, staff recommends that the mayor and council approve the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to award RFP 202107 Call Center Solutions Alternative A, power outage, power emergency calls 24/7, and after-hours utility calls Alternative B, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. customer service to Enco Utility Services, LLC, for services on an as-needed basis and within the established departmental budget. This is a 3-year agreement with the option to extend for 2 additional 1-year periods upon the same terms, conditions, and mutual written consent of both parties.
Thank you. I'll open this up to questions or comments from council. Any initial questions or comments? Councilman Fletcher, I know you had some questions and concerns at the last meeting. Are you online with us?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I did have a discussion. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I did have some discussion with staff, and I do have one question in regards to how the memorandum in the agenda book is listed. The first service package A says 24/7 call center services, and service package B also states at the top 24/7 expanded 24/7 customer service solutions. So based on what I'm hearing is the service B is particularly only for 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. during the daytime. Is that correct?
Well, actually, and I understand the confusion in how it's worded, but actually what we're recommending is that both Alternative A and Alternative B be awarded to Enco. So that would include the calls, the 24/7 calls, the emergency calls, as well as the regular business hours, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
So at that point, we're looking at greater than 6,500 to 7,000 calls per month is the average then? Is that what I'm reading?
The average number of calls for the normal business hours?
Yeah, normal business hours.
Yes, the average number of calls per month for the normal business hours is 5,746.
And then the after hours at about 1,500 or so?
1,150.
Okay, as usual, I will just state my, sorry, I'm getting a little feedback. I'll state my standard response that I'm not a fan of multiple year contracts. I believe that long term it's a disservice to the city. However, based on staff's recommendation, I will be supporting this tonight. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Councilman, thank you. And also, there is obviously a right to terminate this contract if it doesn't meet the city's standards.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Council President or Vice Mayor? Now, Madam Manager, it's my understanding as we've done the financial analysis and that in the bigger picture, this is more cost effective than hiring in-house.
Yes, sir, very much so.
Right, and that was based upon how many people answering the phones during normal business hours?
I think it was a total of 7 plus 2, 9, correct? 7 new employees, city employees, 7 new
7?
full-time employees.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, certainly just an observation, and I recognize that the terms of this contract have a very short termination period. If we decide we want to do something else or go in-house or whatever it may be, there's a very short notice period, and for me, that's a positive thing. But I just want to say that, you know, during the pandemic, when utility billing became an issue and people were concerned about the moratorium on collections and so forth, I began, you know, first and second hand hearing complaints about wait time and the way they were treated by whoever was answering the phone. Since our convenience fee went into effect, there seems to be an avalanche of complaints as to the wait time. One of those complaints came from my brother, one came from a former mayor of Homestead who no longer lives here, and for many, many others, directly to me, as well as what I've seen, you know, posted on social media. And I hope that we can address that. To be on hold for 38 or 45 minutes, you know, on the middle of a business day is not customer service. So I hope that we can continue to monitor that and get reports as to the average wait time, and also each and every one of us be sensitive to those reports that we get first or second hand as to those extended wait times.
Yes, absolutely, Mayor. And as I mentioned earlier, like one of the things that we've included are metrics so that we can look at that very thing. And the 85% expectation of within 3 minutes addresses that as well. And what we are hoping is that the incentive, the 80% correction, but the incentive also will help, as well as the penalty if they fail to meet that standard.
Is there anyone online, member of the public? I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone online wishing to weigh in on this matter?
None, Mr. Mayor.
All right.
Mayor, I wanted to make one more point. The agreement as it's written in what's attached says that they had 120 days to implement because they have to hire more staff, train more staff. But in recent days, what we've been able to do is reduce that to 90 days. So we'll see significant improvement very shortly.
Very, very good. Thank you. All right. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this matter? All right. I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion for approval of this item, RFP number 2021-07. Moved by Councilwoman Bailey, seconded by Councilwoman Avila. There's nothing further. All in favor? Aye. Anyone wish to be recorded as a no vote? Thank you. Motion carries. Next item, tab 3, motion to place car number 3080 on the council agenda. Professional service agreement for energy conservation, consulting, and home energy services. Madam Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. The Homestead Electric Utility currently uses ConservePro to provide qualified customers in the HPS service territory with free energy solution surveys. Qualified customers are those who are up to date with their utility bill payments and in good standing with the city. ConservePro has helped HPS customers save an average of 10% on their electric bills by providing them with energy savings suggestions. Homestead HPS has been using ConservePro since October 20th, 2011, and is very happy with the services provided. ConservePro has maintained the same pricing since 2011. Staff recommends that Mayor and Council approve the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with ConservePro for home energy survey services on an as-needed basis and within the established departmental budget. The initial term of this contract shall be from the issuance of the notice of award through September 30th, 2023, with 2 additional 1-year extensions upon the same terms and conditions and the mutual written consent of both parties. This item falls under professional services and is exempt from competitive bidding.
Thank you. Are there any initial questions or comments from council? Right. No. Councilwoman?
Thank you, Mayor. Do we have a number of participants in the program so far for, let's say, 2018, 2019, 2020? Thank you. Is there an increase in this awarding?
I have typically, we would spend between $65,000 and $78,000, and we have an amount budgeted up to $90,000, so we don't anticipate that anyone would not be able to get the service.
Thank you. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you. Any further from council? All right, we'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone online wishing to speak on this matter?
I see none, Mayor.
Thank you. Anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this matter? We'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion for approval.
All right, one quick comment. I just wanted to let everyone know that when I first heard about the program, I had them come out to both my house and my school. And it was really interesting, especially for the school. They'll give you little tips and tricks of how you can conserve energy, which obviously is very important. And little things like not turning all your lights on when you first come in the morning. You can fall within certain brackets. So I definitely urge anyone listening to get on there and give them a call. Also for my colleagues, they have come out to Art Walk and some of my other events, especially in the summer. They have some really cool little air-conditioned tents and just talk to the residents about how important it is for us to conserve. That's all. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Do we have a motion to approve? Moved by Councilwoman Bailey. We have a second by Councilman Shelley. Nothing further. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Next item is tab 4. Motion to place car number 3079 on the council agenda, the FDOT maintenance agreement.
Thank you, Mayor. As part of the truck bypass project on Campbell Drive, the Florida Department of Transportation will be installing landscaping and irrigation in the medians in accordance with design plans for contract number CA036. The maintenance memorandum of agreement sets forth the city's responsibilities with regard to the maintenance of landscaping and irrigation improvements within the project limits. This agreement with FDOT is budget neutral since the city, prior to the truck bypass project, had already been responsible for the maintenance of the landscaping and the irrigation in the medians within the project limits, and as such, it's a cost that's already budgeted. Staff recommends that the mayor and council approve the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Florida Department of Transportation for the maintenance of the medians on Campbell Drive located between Chrome Avenue and US 1.
Thank you. Questions or comments from council? Do we have the landscaping plans, or have those been finalized? Have we been involved in what the appearance of the median will look like?
We have been involved because what we requested is that it would be similar to what is already there, what the city had, and similar to what was there before. So it's not really changing much from what was there, but we were involved in it so that it would be consistent with what was there.
Thank you. Yeah, just springboarding from, I think, Councilman Ross' comments a few months ago about the condition of an appearance of the landscaping in Washington Avenue, and it may be partially due to what was chosen for that, maybe that we didn't have a hand in, and it's important that we have a nice appearance. That goes a long way. Thank you. Do we have anyone online wishing to speak on this matter?
None, Mr. Mayor.
Do we have anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this matter? Then I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion for approval of this item. Moved by Councilman Roth, second by Councilwoman Avila. All in favor? Aye. Anyone wish to be recorded as a no vote? All right, motion carries. Next is tab 5, motion to place car number 3013 on the council agenda, the resolution for the Harriet Tubman Highway designation.
The city received a request from Florida Department of Transportation for assistance for an additional roadway designation for portions of South Dixie Highway from Southwest 328th Street to Southwest 304th Street in the city of Homestead as Harriet Tubman Highway. FDOT explained that they cannot erect honorary markers unless affected city commissions, councils enact resolutions in support. On February 19, 2019, Miami-Dade County Board of County Commissioners passed resolution number R-168-20, urging the Florida legislature to designate portions of South Dixie Highway as Harriet Tubman Highway. Pursuant to Section 334.071 Florida statutes, the City of Homestead must adopt a resolution supporting the honorary designation for the portions of the roadway that is located in the city in order for FDOT to install signs for the newly designated roadway. Municipalities who have already provided resolutions include Florida City, Cutler Bay, Miami, South Miami, North Miami, Pinecrest, North Miami Beach, Palmetto Bay. And this is only a roadway designation, not to be confused with the renaming of existing street names. No changes will be made to roadway names and addresses in the city of Homestead. And attached to your item is a photo sample of the sign that will be erected at the end of each section of the roadway. And FDOT will be responsible for installing and maintaining the signs. Staff recommends that Mayor and Council approve the attached resolution expressing support for the additional designation of portions of South Dixie Highway, US 1, from Southwest 328th Street, Lucy Street, to Southwest 304th Street, Northeast 15th Street as Harriet Tubman Highway.
Thank you, Madam Manager. Any questions or comments from council? No one.
Mayor, if I may.
Sure. Vice
Yes,
Mayor?
thank you. I'm grateful for the BCC, the Board of County Commissioners, for taking the lead on this and honoring a pioneer from the civil rights era, particularly in a time such as this, where the African American community is struggling with systemic racism that continues to kind of permeate throughout the county and the country and oftentimes in our community. So I support this resolution from the City of Homestead without reservation, and I ask my colleagues to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Anything further from council? Is there anyone online wishing to speak on this matter?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience? None appearing. I'll ask for a motion to approve this resolution. Moved by Councilwoman Bailey. Second. Second by Councilman Roth. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Next item. Tab 6, motion to place car number 3060 on the council agenda. Capital Improvement Project number 2219, prisoner transport vehicle. Madam Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. The Homestead Police Department currently has one jail van which is used to transport prisoners to Miami-Dade County Corrections. This is a 7-year-old vehicle with over 200,000 miles, which periodically requires unscheduled mechanical repairs. When this occurs, uniformed patrol units are then required to transport prisoners individually in their patrol cars up to the county, disrupting regular operations. HPD wishes to purchase a second jail van in order to eliminate the periodic disruptions to its uniformed patrol caused by the older van's unscheduled repairs. This new van will be equipped with a state-of-the-art ventilation system, which will pull air from the interior compartments and push it outside while circulating fresh air inside the compartments. Staff recommends that the Mayor and Council approve the attached resolution authorizing the City Manager to purchase one 2021 Ford Transit T-350 from Duval Fleet Sales with related vehicle equipment from Dana Safety Supply, Inc., and vehicle striping from Creative Fleet Markings, LLC, for a total of $66,734.66. This purchase is in accordance with Florida Sheriff's Association Contract FSA 20-VEL28.0 and City of Miami Contract number 516-388-21. This project is part of the city's capital improvement plan, CIP number 2219, and will be funded by impact fees. In order to ensure that local vendors had an opportunity to participate in this purchase, the Procurement Division issued a request for information to local vendors, and no responses were received.
Thank you, Madam Manager. Any questions or comments from council? Councilman Roth.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one question. I see that there's an extended warranty on the purchase. Does it not come with an original warranty?
I'm sorry, in the last part of the question, extended warranty and what?
We're being charged for a 5-year, 100,000-mile premium care warranty, $2,845. Does it not come with an original warranty?
Councilman, due to staffing sizes and fleet, when we purchase vehicles, we always get the extended warranty. That way it takes care of any issues we may have during the time that we actually have the vehicle.
So every vehicle we've purchased comes with an extended warranty?
Almost every single vehicle we purchase, yes, sir.
What's the original warranty on this vehicle? Do we know?
I don't have it with me, but I'd be happy to get that information to you, sir.
Just curious, because I'm not a big believer of extended warranties on anything. And here we're throwing out, $2,800 on that, just a cost-looking thing, that's all I'm pointing out. Thank you.
Totally
Thank you, Mayor.
understand.
Thank you, Councilman Roth. Any further from council? All right, do we have anyone online wishing to speak on this matter from the public?
I see none, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this matter? And appearing then, I'll entertain a motion to place car number 3060 on the council agenda. We have a motion for approval. Moved by Councilman Roth. Have a second?
Second.
Councilman Avila. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. That seems to bring us to the end of the agenda. Is there anything further, Madam Manager?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Nothing from the attorneys? Anything further from council?
I know this is unrelated to the meeting we just had, thank you, Mayor, and it's not part of my personal business, but I do want to send a shout out to Julio Brea for putting up with me for the last 2 years, probably 50 or more emails, and trying to expedite the completion of, and those of you that haven't been on the east side of the city, Southwest 328th Street. They are at a point of substantial completion, which means both north and southbound 2 lanes are open each way. No more running over the things that were sticking up out of the road. And it seems to be flowing pretty efficiently right now. There will be some things to work out. That road's been under construction for 4 years now. But without Julio's help in communicating with the county, which it was their project, we still may be facing numerous delays on that roadway. So Julio, I just want to send a shout out to you and thank you for your dedication and persistence with the county and finally getting it to the place where it is today. Thank you very much for that, Julio. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. It's interesting. I intentionally drove out that way early Sunday morning just to get a feel for what was going on. And I hope that since I've been there, you talk about that the pavement is even, because on Sunday morning, I noticed there were still some elevated, some shortage of pavement around some of the in-ground metal lids, and that's one of those pet peeves of mine. So since Sunday, it's been fixed. All right. Very good. It felt good to drive it on a nice, crisp, cool Sunday morning early to see what was going on. All right, anything further from council? Nope. All right. Then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. I have a second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you all. Meeting adjourned.